Kbps at Minecraft level skill. Then we can get like some megabytes of speed per average like so we can get like a plus Kbps speed in use right now. Okay. So we discussed about like so types of category cables like so how category 5 we have a less speed category 5 is like 100 Kbps. Category 6 given like a 7 Kbps. Category 7 given category 8 given like a 40 Kbps, 45 to 40 Kbps by using category 8 cable. Okay. So administrator conduct their setup like a they prefer to use a line networking devices like a line connectivity either wired or wireless. In case if you use a wireless, okay, so wireless Wi-Fi we have. So in a Wi-Fi we have a driver, okay, three different bands. One is 254 GHz band, 5 GHz band, 6 GHz band. Okay, so driver. But most of the devices like the Wi-Fi routers they are coming with the 5 GHz, 5 GHz. Dual band. So dual band routers like a Wi-Fi technology. Now, we have like a Wi-Fi solution, the latest which is a research like a completed and built like published in 2014. So most of the route like a Wi-Fi routers are using Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7. Okay. Now in the market Wi-Fi 5 and 6 is the most used. Okay. But like so if you increase like a next gen like a versions, your speed is going to be increased. Okay. Now in a Wi-Fi 5 like you can achieve the 1 Gbps. Wi-Fi 6 you can achieve like so 9 5. Okay, so 6 Gbps. Wi-Fi 7 you can achieve like a 49 50 Gbps speed like that. So based upon the like so which Wi-Fi generation you are using, speed is going to achieve. Clear. So things that in a Wi-Fi like we have a security models also. So WAP, WPA, WPA, WPA. So wide equivalent privacy, WEP, on like so WPA 2 and 3 is like a recommended for security reasons. So WEP is backup, so less than a minute because like it is hexadecimal values only as a password. So 0 to 9 and like A to F character, 16 characters only use like a password. Very easy to verify the password. Okay. So maybe let's try to understand the network architecture. Like have like organizations try to exchange the data between one computer to another. What is the main purpose of the computer network? File sharing networks. It's information exchange. Right? So we are using like a computer network for the information exchange. Now which architecture will give a more better approach for the information exchange between one computer to the another? So we have a two types of network architecture. So one is like a client server architecture, another one is a P2P architecture. The client server architecture depends the alpha. So 99% of the organizations and 99% of the communication between the client server architecture, they all use internet. Servers are acting like a centralized device. So with a high capabilities, which is like a storing the data, like a that data requested by the others. The client can send the request, get the response based upon the needs. So management is easy. Server maintenance is easy. Because like a one server, if administrator are like a developer and they the data, it is a visible to everyone. Update increasing is network architecture. Because if you look into the like network architecture, okay. Now in any computer network like a architecture diagram, this diagram will give idea like how people computer is communicating. So it will just give a, like a high level overview of the like how you are communicating, how serious is the communication network diagram. Understanding that like we have like a network diagram because most of the organizations network diagrams like that they clearly explain that this is how they are using the system router and they are using copy that is connected to the firewall. So now they have a network like they use the switch exists which they use. They have a different server Linux, Linux. Now so this firewall to another firewall they have a connection. Now so that firewall is connected like again like another switch which is the database. So multi-layer integration they have. So network architecture will give us bit more like how computers are communicating each other in an organization. So you can identify the weak points by looking into the network diagram. Okay. So for example, now so this is a our network we can see. So this is like a so centralized device, non-network. So we can just like understand that like so I say all our servers are connected to this which is like whole organization networking devices and all things we can discover in the network diagram. So network architecture also mentioned in this, which is a client, which is a server, which is a source, which is a destination. Everything is covered. Yes. So now like so we have like a client server architecture. So client server like architecture we have a clients like we have a server like a multiple clients can communicate with the okay so single server. Okay. So we have like a client server architecture. This is like so this architecture like so used in a packet. So now you are connected to the internet. So if this client server architecture is really great for the file sharing, this is good for everything. But whenever you want to share the files, bigger size files, simply this architecture is not because like a server, for example, like a server is delivering like a 100 GB, so managing like 100 GB. Because like a so it is distributing the network bandwidth and their users. Okay, let's download the specific PS but our time it will take, right? So, and see, even our calculation also really works. So, network bandwidth is calculated in a years. Our file size is calculated in a UP. This is a huge difference. So, our internet service providers are like mentioning their plans are 100 MB. there is a difference. This 100 Mbps means calculate megabit per second. Now what is this 100 megabytes per second? You are calculating bytes. File size in a byte like so our data transfer in a bit. Bit means 0 and 1 right? So our network traffic is transmitting in a bit. But our file storage is only byte. It means like so 8 bit equal to 1 byte. 8 bit equal to 1 byte. So now see if you want like so 100 like how much like a 100 Mbps how much you will get like so if you have 100 Mbps plan 100 Mbps plan equal to the 2.5 MB per second download. 100 MB how much you will download per second 12.5 MB because 100 by 8 which format you have. If you convert it to the byte format, 12.5 MB megabyte per second, it will download. Now you have a 1 GB file. 1 GB file. Average, you need to like a page for 1 GB. It means like a so 100 times. Average, right? 10 times. So average like a so 100 seconds. So when you have like a 100 Mbps plan, we need like a 100 seconds to download the 1 GB file average. It is 1.5 minute average. But so 100 Mbps. So if we have like a 1 Gbps plan, 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds you can download the 1 GB. So network bandwidth is the real problem. Your subscription, which plan you choose. Now corporate companies like us, so they don't prefer the 100 Mbps because network bandwidth always distribute. So for example, like you have like 100 users. 100 users. Your plan is 100 Mbps. Now how much they will get? 1 Mbps, right? For each person. Now do you think like a internet is stable for employees? So if they use an like 1 Gbps for the 100 employees, now at least they will get the 10 Mbps internet. Now if they want to give the good internet speed to the every employee in a corporate company, then you have a minimum of 10 Gbps or 20 Gbps backbone. Then only they can give at least stable internet connection 10 Mbps for each employee. So corporate plans are different, not like our own plans. In a home, we have like less than 5 people or 10 people. But in a corporate company, suppose when they use a 100 Mbps or Gbps plans. So that's why they will buy the like a big plan. They will use a dedicated channels. It means like a source. Lease lines they will pick. It means separate connection to their office. Dedicated public IP address, lease line they will pick from the internet service provider. See, internet service provider they don't offer the like a 10 Gbps plan to you as a home user. But is ready to give the 10 Gbps class to the corporate company. So corporate company is going to be paying a lakhs for the internet. Literally, they'll pay in a lakhs for the internet connection. Dedicated line, so dedicated IP address. They should have a rule always. If one ISP is down, another ISP should up. Then entire their operations are down. Backup they need. Is that clear? So our plans plays a key role. So there is a distribution in a bandwidth. So when we have a file sharing, network bandwidth is going to be depends. Server network bandwidth depends. Okay, so now server network has a capacity to handle, okay, 100 Gbps, but like users are like 100 users, so Gbps they can down. But users are 10,000, 1,000 users. Now, another Gbps, right? 100 Gbps. Now, so we have like a 10,000 users at a time, they are visiting that. See, network bandwidth, automatically users are getting less speed. That's my point. Now, when you are downloading a one file, if only one person is downloading, what kind of speed you will get? But same file downloaded by 10 people, speed is going to be decreased, right? Not going to be increased. Download speed because distribution is going to be affected. So due to this, like a big file, we can't able to access in a less time. So due to that, they use like a network time, like a vanilla, it's a peer-to-peer application. So the peer-to-peer application, what happening like so you have like a function if you observe that in a client server has everything. All people have it like they can access. But in a peer-to-peer application, like so there is no server. Because everyone is acting like all lines are acting like also 100 GB file, 10 parts splitted, okay. So now 10 GB, 10 GB. Normally 100 GB, it is taking like 100 minutes to you to download. It will be speed. Now you can download. If number of things are increasing, what happens? Your download speed is going to increase, not decrease, increase. Because like if you have 10 teams, 100 GB, 10 GB per each team. Okay. Now, if you have like 1,000 teams, 1,000 parts, that file is 1,000 places. In less than 3 seconds, it will download the user. So we use this kind of approach in a 2x. I hope they believe here. We download the there is a file sharing mechanism they use. P2P approach. Now, whenever you download any software from the Korean network, I want to download the file image. Not from the external web. I want to download it from it. So they give it a storage file. So when I use the storage on my download manager or link manager, now you can see that like it is going to be display how many pages. It discovers 1459 pages. But how many pages currently connected? So it is increasing. Now once it is increasing, like I say, remaining 4 minutes, but it's not like a 4 minutes, it is going to be speed up that, okay? Now let me switch to the speed. Also see this like how many pages are connected, 70 pages are increasing. See this file is downloading in a parts. Split, download, assemble. Got my point. So now like see this 1 minute. 5 minutes to the now we will finish in a seconds. The pages are still increasing. Who is those pages? Like all other like a page, like a like us normal computers worldwide. Who has this Kali Linux file in their computer? John in acting like a C source. How many C's are there? So how many C's are there? Galaxy like a C. I'm splitting the file and downloading it. So we just like started downloading this file in a 10:40 a.m. Now less than like a 2 minutes, we are downloading the 4 GB file. So because of the current, if number of like a speed increases, your download speed is going to be increased. Space availability is increased. So P2P network architecture is used. So we have like this is the most common quality. So most of the people like us even like I prefer to use this. So I prefer to stay directly without any so this layer like this, I just repeat the extension. This layer, next, like, so you need to understand how physical connectivity and logical connectivity. See, company want to like a connect the computers, like a one computer to the another computer. All they physically like are like a logical connection. So physical how they connected, logical how they kind of workflow we have. So that thing is connected in a network. Computer network. Which will define the physical and logical arrangement of the devices and the connections in a network. Determining our data. We have some different types of network topologies. So those topologies should matter. So we have like a network topology. Basically, we have a coming point, 3.25 degrees like the so we create two computers with directly connected. But we want like a computer started like single one or two right. So I want this really First topology. First topology is by recurring service providers. Okay. Our microquantum area networks and area networks, they use like first topology. They use a single cable for the internet connection. How they will verify the locations. Because so, for example, if you see that somewhere a cable can be extended to verify. So we have like a connectivity to we have like so this like is the first has the starting. Okay. So building lesson. So what was like a starts like a starting point only then so in a between we get that building like a so first steps. Computing also like a we have like so our the points are connected issues connected connections we have so much to that's something
మనకు వచ్చినవి
so we have like a benefit. All our daily lives of the world experience lights safe first of all if you are observing we have a landline every village and like a one shape connect every village BSNL in the entire India village to village they get like a fire so when that local can have it pay for lights so they can sell it first of all experimental approach but this is like a one stop because if you work in a only one direction either clockwise or anti-clockwise now see for example like I have a like computers in a
వస్తుంది. అంతా ఇక్కడ పడతాడ కూర్చొని కొరకకోట. నువ్వు అంటే ఏం తినవు, నేను తింటా కదా. బయటనే కూర్చున్నావు.
Internet means hybrid model. Internet means hybrid model. So it uses like a bus stop or want to communicate with the three users, three cables selected, 3 lakh words selected, 3 network adapters selected. So too much of money is for the hardware companies. It's a really waste of money because it is a full machine. Because every device connected to the other. Now let's register this total 5 years. I want to take it every 4 years. 5 years. Because they gave me a so n minus 1 point 1 plus n minus 1 by it means for example having 10 users this n into 9 by now we have a little of 5 users 5 into 14 by 10 so those 10 tables are because 5 users each user need to connect with the remaining 4 users just 1 cable required. While same cable, A to B, B to E. That's right, 5. Network technology will give us clear picture
Same.
how our computers
Same.
are communicating. Okay, so it will give the idea physical data, physical arrangement, it will give the idea, and the data flow in behind the logic. So network profiles. Entire our computer network concepts, we should understand that so exactly. So what is types of computer networks, types of network architecture, so types of network topologies, so type of networking devices, so types of networking medium and standards. So we should remember all of it. Okay. So next we have a types of networking. This is especially very, very important in interview point. We will discuss about that in a tomorrow. Okay, so before that, I explain all the important protocols to you, but I didn't explain the one important protocol. I would like to explain that today. So the protocol name is the IP. Internet protocol. You will get the IP address to your computer. So you are using a Windows machine, am I right? Let's open your command prompt in the Windows. Type the IP config forward slash open your
అలా VM ఏమి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి కదా వర్చువల్ మిషన్స్ ఏమి
So Windows user can use the IP config space forward slash. Linux users can use the IP space AR address. So we can use the IP space like address or IF config also. So Linux users they can use that. So Windows users can use this. Now if you type IP config space forward slash R, you will get the complete your IP address related details. Your internet protocol related information you will get in that. It will display your IP address, it will display your gateway, it will display the DNS server, DSCP server, all the details you can see there. What are the network adapters we have? Either Wi-Fi or wired. All the things you can see. Now look for the wireless LAN adapter. I think we can find in the last. Wireless LAN adapter, your Wi-Fi adapter related details. In that details, you can find the IP address. So if you observe that there is a two different IP addresses, you can see that. One is the IPv4 address. IPv4 address, you can see that, and IPv6 address, you can see. IPv4, you can see the decimal format. 192.168.0. Like that, you can say the dotted decimal format. Dotted decimal format. So IPv4, you can see the dotted decimal format. So you can see the IPv4 address in a dotted decimal format, and IPv6 you can find in a colon separated. X format. So hexadecimal format you can see the colon separated values you can find. IPv4, V6 we have. Every computer gets the V4 address and V6 address. Okay, IP address version 4 and version 6 we will get. An IP version 4 and version 6. Version 4 is a dotted decimal format. The size is a very less, it's a 32-bit size. It is a 32-bit size, okay, so that's why you can see there are 4 parts. It is in a 4 bytes of information. 4 bytes of information. Each byte is octet. It means 8-bit. Octet. 8-bit information. So that's why you can see the 4 parts. 4 into 8, 32. Your IP address is in a 4 parts. 192.168.0.199. 4 parts. Each part is a 1 octet. It means 1 byte. 8-bit information. So 8 into 32 bit. But V6 is a 128 bit. Very big. Now which is in a valid IP address which is in the use V4 only, not in a V6. V6 can't able to communicate directly. As of now, concept is very simple. V6 is like a, so just like they completed a research and for the future reference. V6 is not actively using. V6 IP address will get, but again your computer exchange the data by using V4 only, not the V6. So you need to understand that. Okay. So our computer networks so use the V4 IP address. So they use the like a V4 IP address. So our V4 IP address like a version 4 IP Internet Protocol version 4 address is the so data decimal format. So 32 bit size. So 4 bytes of information we have. Okay. So now we have a classification. We have to understand our IP address is available in a public IP address. We have private IP address, public IP address we have, and private IP address we have. So whatever IP address you are getting, 192.168. When you type the IP config space /all, you are getting IP address that is a private IP address. Your private IP address. Please check your private IP address. So you guys are connected to my Wi-Fi network. You can see that like a 192.168.0.series. One guy had a 40, another guy had a 200. Different. All are like a private IP address. Those are private IP address. But if you check your computer public IP address, everyone who are connected to my Wi-Fi now, you will get the same public IP address. Go to the Google and search for the what is my IP address? What is my IP.com? Is it that? Please check. You can see the same. We have a individual IP address, part of the network. Private IP address is individual, but public IP address is same. So your public identity is same. So for example, there is a family, Rao's family. They have like so 5 to 6 members in that family. Suresh, Srinivas, Ankit, Srija, someone is there in that family. But at the end of the day, the family faces Rao. Rao's family only. That is a public identity. But individual identity they have Srinivas, Suresh, Srija, Ankit. They have individual identity, but still they are part of one family. Their family representation is their father, care of address, Rao's family. So just like that. Now how many users are connected to your Wi-Fi network? All they will get the private identity, that is a private IP address. So when you type the IP config /all, you are getting the private IP address. But all are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. That Wi-Fi network is like connected to the router. That router has a one public IP address assigned by the internet service provider. Now this is directly connected to the router. Now in case if anyone accesses this IP address, it will directly map to the my Wi-Fi router, my internet service provider Wi-Fi router. Check your hostel, check your IP address. You can directly find your hostel Wi-Fi router or your home Wi-Fi router by accessing the public IP address. Are you able to follow me? Now this is the public IP address. You can see that like an IP config /all. There is a word gateway. Can you check that gateway? Did you find the gateway? There is IP address, gateway IP address, which is starting with a 192.168.0.1. That is my network gateway, my router, my local router. So gateway is my local router. So actually my network has two routers. You guys connected to the one router. That router is connected to the ISP router. But if you have a single router, what will happen? Your gateway and your public IP address is pointed to the same router. అర్థమవుతుందా? Same router ki point చేస్తుంది. So gateway is nothing but router. Gateway is nothing but your router. That, so your IP address is a private. Your public IP address represents your identity. Now see this. My public IP address is representing I'm from Hyderabad, so Telangana, so India, Halfway cable data company. So my service provider, ISP is like a halfway. We can see the difference. So we have a classification in the IP addresses. So we have a public IP address classification, private IP address classification. So who need to use this public IP address? Who can use this kind of public IP address? So that the private IP address are free. Private IP addresses are free. Anyone can switch to the any IP address, but public IP addresses. So we have to register. We have like an organization name is called INA. Okay, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. So we have like a Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, a non-profit organization INA. We have those guys take the responsibility to register the domain name, IP addresses, and the protocols. Our ports, service ports. Okay, those guys take the responsibility, but they can't able to fulfill the like entire world needs. So that's why under the RIR works. RIR, Regional Internet Registries. Our world map is split into the 5 regional. So 5 regional internet registries we have world. Okay, we are like under APNIC, Asia Pacific. Okay, Network Information Center related. RIR. After that we are in APN. Okay, so we have like a RIR, so we have 5 regional internet feeds. But those guys also not able to serve to all the countries under that region. So that's why they take support from the third party, internet service providers, domain name registers like a GoDaddy. We have a GoDaddy, HostGator, Namecheap, Google Domains kind of websites. Allow us to buy the domain name or not. Those guys are domain name registers. So domain name registers charge the fees, but RIR and INA is a free. Now whatever fees you are paying for the domain registration, like a hackingtrainer.com I registered for my company. We paid money to the GoDaddy. That is a fee collected by the GoDaddy, not by the INA. INA and like RIR is a non-profitable organization, but who are creating like a bridge between them to okay. So those guys are charging our fees. Regular renewal process, registration process, keep the domain unique. No one can utilize that again. So we don't want any conflict. Hackingtrainer.com, like registered by 10 people, now which IP address it should redirect. We have a problem over it. So that's right. Unique domain name, unique public IP address, unique port number. That process is handled by the IP. So INA deals with the IP address registration, domain name registration, and protocol related port allocation. We have a port number, CTP ports we have. How many ports we have? 0 to 65,500. In that 0 to 1023 ports are well-known service ports. No one can able to register them. It's a default ports we have. But so 1024 to the 49,151 up to that range. Any company can register a new port for their software. Now MySQL 3306, Oracle 1521. All those guys are like allocated under register ports. But recently Oracle they registered 2483 and 2484 separate port for their service. Like that. Microsoft like they registered like 3389 for their remote desktop protocol. Like that, different companies they register their ports for their own software. for the recognition worldwide. So registered ports we have. So we have three types of ports. Well-known ports are system ports, registered ports, and third one is dynamic or ephemeral ports or private ports. Those are used as a client ports. Our computer is a client. Now you are accessing internet. Server you are communicating. Server has already open port, either 21 or 22 or 23 or whatever they have service base. But your computer also need like a source port for the communicating with the destination port or not. Source and destination should have a ports. Private ports. So those private ports are like range we have 49,152 to 65,530. Registration is handled by the IT. We have like a port registration. We have public IP address registration. So public IP address registration strictly follow the rules. Who need that public IP address? Is it required for the internet service provider? Is it required for a person? Is it required for the company? That is defined based upon the number of IP addresses available in that particular range. So we have like a classes, class A, class B, class C, class D, class E. We have 5 classes we have in a public IP addresses classes. So let me explain the classes. So we have like a public IP address class A. So class B. So we have like a class A, class B, class C, class D, and class C. So we have a ranges. So in our IP address, we have a first part number. So starting point we have so first point we have to check. We have to check the first point. Which number you have. That number should be in this particular range. So either class B or class C or how can you find out? Based upon the number you have in the first octet. You have a first octet, right? In the first octet, whatever value you have to observe that. If your first octet value is in between like this, 1 to 127. Okay. So now let's consider like this 1 to 126.
Give a decision policy.
Because 127 is like computer as a loopback address. Every computer is using 127 series as a loopback IP address. Now 1 to 126. If you find any IP address starting with any class A, now see this. Our public IP address is started with a 115. Now 115 is in between that range or not?